So excited for everybody that's joining in right now, whether you're watching now or you're watching the rebroadcast of this later. I just want to give you guys a quick introduction to who I am. My name is Matt, and I am the modern worship director and director of media communications at Dalton First United Methodist Church. Um, so glad to have, like I said, everybody here in the call right now, but also for anybody that's going to be watching back on the broadcast later. The purpose of this webinar is to find out how AI can help buy back some of our time here in 2025 and in the future. We all know that AI, or that we're all busy and we're doing a lot of ministry all the time, and it is the number one thing that I hear from ministry leaders at any point is, if only I had more time in order to get uh, back to being with people. And that's the purpose of what we love to do here at Wesley AI, and us do as part of this cohort as well. And that's to help you guys buy back your time as well, so you can get back to doing what you love, and that's doing ministry and being with people. Because I can guarantee you guys one thing: you did not go to school, or you do not feel called to do administrative work. I'm sure you guys definitely felt called and went to school to learn how to be with people and how to minister to people. So, like I said, my name is Matt. That's enough introduction for me. My friend Hunter here is also joining in on the call. He is going to be helping me co-host today, and he's going to have some information as well. So, Hunter, would you go ahead and just introduce yourself, where you're at in life, and what you do for a living?
Hey guys, my name's Hunter. Like you said, I actually am a few states over. I'm over in Louisiana. I've been over here at First Zachary for a little over 4 years now as the technical ministries director or minister, whatever it is. And so I handle all of our Sunday morning AVL. I handle all of our social media, things like that. But also, as the tech role tends, when we have staff members who might transition out, transition in, whatever, I'm also covering different areas, right? So I've actually been, and multiple times been covering other roles like worship or covering things, that might not be my area, but I needed extra time for them, like students and things like that. But I actually got to serve with Matt here. Actually, how we met, goodness, now it's been, 8 years now, 8, 9 years ago. We served at a church in Alabama together for a couple years, and have just kept a relationship up since then. And so I guess I've known you, oh my goodness, Matt, for 8 to 10 years, 8 years now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's almost been
Anyway,
that long.
um, anyway, so that being said, yeah, so I'll give this intro. Started digging into AI kind of with everyone else. Like I wasn't on the front end of anything. Whenever chat was released, I was like, okay, whatever. And the tendency is like, oh, well, I don't understand it, so you let the young kids play with it. Let them figure it out. Um, but it's been great figuring out how it can allow me, because I know for myself, spending time with people and doing some creative things energizes me, where sitting down and filling out all of my PO requests drains the heck out of me. Or sitting down and writing out an announcement video script by hand, or writing out 5 social media scripts that we can use every day of the week. Like it can be draining, things like that. And that's honestly been the biggest help for me AI wise, is trying to find ways. And even last week, me and Matt were talking about different ways to eliminate some of the administrative time, just like some time wasters. If I can eliminate some of those things to allow myself space and energy to be more creative, or to be more ministerial in trying to reach people and trying to just do life with people, these are ways that we can eliminate some of those time wasters.
Yeah, man, that's huge. Thank you for introducing yourself. I know that obviously, like you said, we've known each other for quite some time, but it's great for everybody else to be able to get to know you a little bit more. So that way, when we jump into this, we can feel a little bit more connected. I have three emphasis that I want to hit today over our time, and I'm going to try to keep us here for about only 45 minutes. I know, once again, we're trying to buy back time. And so I'm not trying to take up too much of your time, but also, it shows a lot for the people who are jumping in on this call right now or in the future, that, you're trying to sacrifice a little bit of the free time you do have right now in order to learn and how to get better so you can get back to being people. So here are the three things I want to emphasize on. I want things to be practical. I want things to be affordable, and I want you guys to find easy to use solution. So, what are some common challenges that we face at small to medium sized local churches? Uh, Limited staff resources, pastors doing multiple roles, having to preach, do admin, tech, communications, worship, you name it. There's a lot of times where we're wearing like 15 different hats at a time. We lose a lot of time to tasks like accounting and social media and sometimes even graphic design because we live in a world where people need to see things in order to feel convinced to come to things. Um, so, how can AI help? It can help automate repetitive work, enhance creativity, and save you time. So, I'm gonna give you a quick layout of how the rest of this call is gonna go. I'm gonna throw it to Hunter. Hunter is going to present a couple things that he has found that has helped him save some time, and then I'm going to present a few things that I have found that helps me save some time, and then at the end of that, we're gonna do a quick live Q&A for you guys to ask any questions. If we went over something too quick, we can definitely jump into it and talk about it some more. Or if you have other questions of things that we didn't talk about, I would love to explore those things with you guys as well. So if you have any questions and you're wanting to ask them, we definitely will have that at the end of this presentation. And I also have a free AI resource for everybody that's joining in on this call that you guys can get at the end. You just got to stick around, and I'll have it for you guys. So, Hunter, would you take the stage and kind of share with us the things that you have found that's helped you buy back some of your time?
So something we've noticed a lot. So actually, during our midweek Bible studies, we record those now, because we were finding we had a lot of people who did not like driving at night, and as fall and winter comes, it gets later and later, all those things. Well, the problem is we don't really have the best setup for that. We were having issues where people were watching and different things like that. Well, we don't have a full setup there for recording and being able to plan back. And even with that being a more casual setup, we have people asking questions. And it gets kind of complicated when it comes to put two wireless Rode mics in there that are about $100. We spent maybe $200 on this entire setup. But what we did is we record the room audio and it works. The audio is not great. And so the video actually I just sent Matt, the beginning of it is just what the room sounds like before we use any AI for it. And then afterwards, after about I think 12 to 15 seconds, it should convert to what it actually sounds like when we put it out.
Nothing but praises to God.
So it's real low audio. We don't have a lot of presence to it.
It'll be fun.
And people ask questions. We can't really hear them typically.
Color, all united worshiping the Lord. What else?
Not any old age and
No old age?
correct. All gonna be young.
We're all gonna be young? How young?
And so that's what we do. So actually each week I take the video file and with the rough audio that I get, I take it and I drag it into Adobe Podcast, which actually is a free resource that they allow you to use. So you can upload, I believe it's an hour a week for free. And so if you could click that enhance speech button for me, Matt.
Yeah, sure.
And so actually what you do is you go in, you take your audio file. So for me, I drop my video file and into Final Cut, but you could use Final Cut, iMovie, whatever you're using. And I separate the audio and the video file and I drop just the audio file into Adobe Podcast. And it kicks me out a audio that sounds a lot crisper. And what it does is I allow both audios to play through the audio that are recorded in the room and the audio I get from Adobe Podcast. And those together create a good audio where you can hear people asking questions. You can hear the pastor talking and, the whole 30-minute class or whatever. So that's huge. And even in the context of if we've had an issue happen with our live stream on Sunday morning. So if we have an issue with Sunday morning and our audio from the pastor's not as clear as we would like, something happened, somehow someone could put an echo on his mic, whatever it may be. We can take his sermon and also drop it into Adobe Podcast, and it's been huge to just clean up audios that are otherwise, to be honest with you, that would normally just get trashed. It's honestly been very impressive. Even to the summer, we took some wireless mics out to kids camp, and we were able to use the audio while all these kids are running around, but the audio was clear enough that we were able to put in there and recover it essentially and use that for our social media, use it for videos, whatever. But sermon videos has been a huge one, in just enhancing the audio and using that AI tool there. And honestly, the fact that they do allow you to do it for free is crazy, because it really works incredibly well. And I hate having to sign up for 30,000 subscriptions, and I hate having to pay $5 here, $5 there. And so the fact that they allow me to do that for free, I'm like, okay, thank you guys. I'm not going to argue with you. It's a huge, and if you get into longer videos, I think if you do like if it's over an hour, you have to pay, the $10 a month or whatever. And with my Adobe account, I'm pretty sure I actually do pay for it somehow, some way, I'm sure. But the fact that they allow you to do that for free is huge. And then another thing that I've utilized a lot recently has been scripts for announcement videos. So I don't know about you guys, but we shoot a weekly announcement video that we show in the service, but we also utilize those for social media things and things like that. I don't mind writing things, but I also know writing can be draining. And so what I use for that is actually I use ChatGPT a lot. And what I have found with using chat, and I don't know if you guys have dug into it at all, but when you start digging into writing an announcement video script or a social media caption script, whatever it may be, it can give you good things, but a lot of times it sounds like AI. I mean, it sounds like somebody plugged this in their computer and it kicked it back out. And what I found is you're only going to get what you put into it. And so if you're not telling it how you want it to sound, it's not going to know what to make it sound like. It's going to make it sound like a generic run of the mill caption or announcement video script. And so what I do is I find announcement videos that I like. So I did some time, everyone has a church or someone they look for, um, that they see their announcement video and they're like, "Hey, this is how I want ours to sound. This is what we want it to sound like," and things like that. And so what I did is I took a few different scripts from different churches. And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll transcribe it real quick, type it out, toss it in chat, and say, how can I make ours sound like this?" And even Brace Hero's got a great training on it, talking about how to connect a story with an announcement. So it's more than just an informational; it's how are we connecting people to this event. And so what I'll do is I'm like, all right, well, I like this training from whoever it may be, or this mentality of for our announcement video, and then I start plugging in our announcement video scripts. And then we also have someone on staff who plugs all of our events into our calendar. And so what I can do is I can take, okay, well, my side of it is the announcement, making it connect, and hers is very just like the very bare minimum details. So she puts in the date, the time, where it's at, all those things. And I'm like, okay, let me merge these two together. Instead of me sitting down for an hour and a half each week writing an announcement video script, I can toss it in there and I can give it the parameters, but I can allow it to do the hard work and the draining work. And so I'm looking at what you're typing in there, Matt. It's perfect. And you can type it in, and what it's going to kick back, it'll give you a great announcement video script that will fit what you guys like. So like and again, it's a big deal to make it sound like your church, right? So let's see what it says. Perfect. Yeah. And when you have things like, and I don't even know, Matt, but I'm going to say it. This is a place where God is moving in powerful ways. Is that the terminology you guys use frequently?
Yep.
So if there's stuff like that that you can throw in there that has become part of your church culture, you can put it in there, and you can tell it, hey, and just build off of it, build off of how you want the script to work. And so when you begin teaching it what you want, it's a powerful resource to create an announcement video script that sounds like your church and fits your culture and fits your body. Um, and it will create an announcement video script that will work for you guys. I also think for social media is another thing. And even for that announcement video script he just built there, he could say, hey, make this into a week worth of social media post, or make this into a social media invitation post. So like I think about midweek. All right, well, what all events we have going on midweek? We've got choirs meeting at this time, students are meeting at this time, kids are they're meeting at this time. Well, you can take the announcement video script and use it in multiple areas. Instead of building it once and using it for one thing, you can use it for your social media script at the same time. Or not script, sorry, social media caption. And so right there, so it just creates what's going on at your church, and it can create that from your announcement video script. And what you can do is you can eliminate doing things twice, or you can eliminate having to create things multiple times. All right, let's see.
And I just want to jump in here real quick. This probably also would work really well if maybe you weren't doing announcement videos during the week or at service, but maybe you needed to help the people that do announcements on Sunday morning and create a script for them and give them an outline. This probably would work for that as well, right?
Oh, it would work, it'd be huge because I'm thinking, I know for us, when we have done live announcements, nothing can derail faster than live announcements. Oh, they can turn into a 3 to 5 minute part of a service that could have been 30 to 45 seconds. I have a vivid memory of a few years ago, we had a staff member who was doing a live announcement on stage, and for some reason, it just popped in his brain, and he addressed that he could see we have actually a funeral home like across the street from us. He goes, I can see all the way out the front doors to the funeral home. And I was like, this is so not where we're going in service, but you just mentioned a funeral home. But anyway, and so it can help with that too. Like you said, that's a great point. It can work with your live announcements. You can help rein in anyone who's speaking and things like that.
Right.
Also think, like I said, social media captions, I think is a great part. Um, I plug in what I want. I even will say the graphic looks like this. It's a picture of students in our student building that are worshiping, and help me build a post for our student night. A student night that starts it, and I can look at it as a detail and just throw in the details, and it can add some of the flair to it, right? And once you build in what your church sounds like and what your church goes towards, you you can copy and paste it back into, no, be careful copying and pasting. Obviously you want it to be biblically sound, you want it to connect with your church and things like that. But what it can do is it takes some of the guesswork because it is draining. When you're doing social media and you're trying to make posts frequently, it can be very draining for that. And one last thing that I think about too, if you could pull up Opus clip map.
Sure.
Now this is one that which I think you might already be logged into my account.
Oh, yep, there I am.
Look at you. Perfect. So if you go to, don't do the Bible study, but actually do that third one right there. So Sunday morning one. So what it does is create social media content for you. And I hear it said a lot, each week your pastor is creating a 30-minute sermon to give content, and we're not utilizing it more than just on Sunday, right? So what Opus Clip does is Opus Clip is like a AI video resource, so I'm gonna call it the best way. But you can drag in your Sunday morning services, your message, and what it will do is it will clip social media videos out of it. So like that first one, I think I built ours to where everything is under a minute. Just because for social media, I try to keep all of our videos under a minute. And so it gives you the best clippable moments. Now, with that being said, you don't want to just post randomly whatever comes out, right? You want to make sure it's something that your pastor intended to say or meant to say in a certain context. But a lot of times it'll clip a perfect minute or two of him of something that just connects with the congregation that I can put out on social and help draw back to the message. And so normally whenever we post our sermons online, I just tag I'll take the clip that it creates for me. I'll download it and say, "Don't miss Pastor Eddie's message from this Sunday," and I'll drop in the video, and it'll be a minute 15 of him talking and connecting with the congregation that way. And the big thing with that is you don't want 30-minute videos that you're just posting. You don't want to just repost your sermon on socials. I mean, if you're live streaming, it's one thing, but just to repost, it's not going to get the grab. But being able to take those clipped moments, and what it does for you is it eliminates having to rewatch the sermon. There are a lot of times that by the time you sit through at least one service, two services on Sunday morning, and then you rewatch the video, you got to clip some sermon clips out of it. You got to take the audio from it. You've heard the message 6, 7 times. But what this does, not that you don't need, I probably need to hear it more times. But what it does is it eliminates me having to do that for social media. So I can first thing Monday morning pop some videos out without having to spend my whole Monday working on that. And that's honestly the biggest thing for me. Another one I thought to mention too was I've used recently. We had an event in our gym where we needed a full AV setup, and we were having to do youth speakers and the mics and everything for an outside event. Well, what I was able to do is just it helps me just be able to dictate out, and I can just talk to chat and say, okay, this is what I need. I just use the little microphone button and speak to it, and I can talk to it and say, okay, I need 5 wireless microphones. I need this, whatever it may be. and I can have it build a plan for me. So actually, to the point where I printed out a PDF sheet that I was able to give my volunteers and say, hey, we're going to work on this, and this is the entire plan. It has all the mics, has all the inputs labeled, things like that. And I think the biggest thing for me is not allowing it to we can't treat it like Google. It's not just Googling something. I mean, if you looked at my ChatGPT recents in history, you would see sometimes that I'm like basically Googling the chat. But if we want to use it in ministry and utilize it to its full capacity for what we can eliminate, eliminate time waste, I think we've got to look at it more like an assistant. And I think Matt talks about some too, where it can become a partner in what we're trying to accomplish and allowing us to accomplish more of what we want to do. Truthfully, I know for me, being with people, spending time with people, I mean, even if it's a hospital visit, whatever it may be, like as that's what I want to do instead of sitting here watching a 40-minute sermon 2 times to try to get a minute clip out of it, right? Or trying to build a social media caption or trying to build our announcement video script. If I can eliminate some of those time wasters that are just even just small scale things, it's huge for me to be able to eliminate draining tasks. And so for me, the biggest ones I use weekly is the Adobe podcast. So I take our audios that aren't great. Even I think about like this is our announcement video studio, and we have an expensive boom mic in here that we spent, I don't know, a good bit of money on. But even to the point where if your audio is not great that you're recording videos on for social media or whatever, you can take a minute long clip that you record on your phone and put it in there, and it's going to refine your audio to sound professional. I think Adobe Podcast is huge. I use that all the time. I think Opus is huge. I use that all the time. And then ChatGPT I use all the time for working with our announcement video script, working with scripting things out for someone on stage, or even using it for social media captions and social media planning. So that's really the main 3 things that I hit for what I utilize AI for in my daily work schedule.
Awesome, Hunter. I think you hit on some 3 really big things. I know a lot of people are trying to post their sermons and their messages online, and they don't have the resources that they need in order to make it clear. And we know that if somebody can't hear what they're watching on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, they're not going to stick around and watch it. They're not going to bear through the pain of listening through a really distorted audio clip or an echoing audio clip. So that is huge, and the fact that it's a free resource makes it even better. You're not even having to pay any money. So, and also, I don't know about you, but the amount of times that I've sat in my office trying to help somebody come up with an announcement script. And have just sat there and pulled my hair out saying, oh my gosh, how do I make this sound more original this week? Or how do I make 7 days worth of social media posts? I don't have time to sit down and think of 7 days worth of social media posts. I've got 10 other things going on. Well, the what you just pointed out saves, I mean, those captions for the Facebook post and that announcement video, that was 5 minutes and it was done. And so you've just bought back maybe an hour just in social media and writing copy for an announcement video. So, thank you for sharing those things. I am so pumped to um, try to incorporate a little bit more of that into my life as well. I'm not using the Adobe podcast one, so I'll probably try that out myself this week. Okay, so I'm going to jump into my portion, and hopefully that what I've got for you guys will help bring you value, just as much value as Hunter's brought you guys. So let me go ahead and get my screen set up here real quick. All right, so let's talk about it. Here are the 3 things that we are going to hit on uh, during my presentation. We're going to talk about part number 1. I call it the bumper video problem. Part number 2 is going to be called graphics creation. So Hunter hit on creating the social media content, the copy for the social media post. We're going to talk about the visual part of that social media post and how that you guys can use some of these tools to create free, if not free, super cheap, super fast pieces of content. And then we're going to hit a little bit on what we call AI agents, or sometimes people call them AI employees. So here's the first thing: the bumper video problem. You guys probably have heard the term bumper video. If you haven't heard the term bumper video, I just want to explain it to you guys real quick. A bumper video is normally something a speaker, a pastor, somebody that's presenting uses at the beginning of their message or their presentation to help set up the message that they're getting ready to give. This does not just apply to a bumper video. This will also apply and work for any kind of video that you're trying to make. So let's jump into this real quick. You need a video, but you've got no budget, you've got no time, and you don't have the staff to help you with it. That is normally the problem that we run into. Luckily, we're privileged enough to where I am this person on staff, but there's even times where I don't have time to hit this kind of stuff. So, um, the big thing that we have to do in order to make these bumper videos happen is we have to go through this traditional process. So if pastor came to me and said, I've got this bumper video idea, or I've got this social media video idea, or I've got this piece of content that I want to see, but I've looked all over the internet. I can't find a version of it that I want. It either doesn't say what I want it to say or it doesn't look the way that I want it to say. So I need help making it. Here was the process that we used to have to go through. We'd have to have a script writer. We'd have to find some kind of voice actor to go into the video, somebody to edit the video. We'd have to pay for stock footage if we couldn't get the stock footage that we wanted. And it would take hours or days of work in order to create this piece of content, resulting in money spent. So for me, for example, even in the traditional process, I am the script writer. I would usually find somebody in the church to be a voice actor. If I couldn't, if we needed a specific voice to voice over the video, I'd have to go out and find somebody to do it. I'm the video editor. I would go out and find stock footage. So you're thinking about the fact that, like, even though I'm on salary, there is an hourly rate that goes into paying me as a staff member to make this video where I could be ministering to people through the process. I want to show you what an AI driven workflow could look like. We prompt ChatGPT to create a script. We'll have a script for the video in 1 minute. We upload our script to an AI called 11 Labs. That's the word 11 or the number 11. 11 Labs is a professional voiceover AI platform. You will have a fully narrated piece of audio in under 2 minutes from whatever prompt that you built in ChatGPT. And then you can go to websites that have free B-roll. You can use Pexels. Canva has free B-roll. Adobe Premiere, Adobe in general has B-roll. You do have to pay for theirs a little bit, but it's not anything as expensive as going out and hiring somebody to do it. And you could have a video edited and ready to go by using a free video software like Canva. I didn't know if you guys knew this, but you can actually edit video in Canva now. You could have it in 10 minutes and be ready to go. So I want to share with you guys an actual scenario that happened to me 8 weeks ago. My boss, my pastor, came up to me and he said, "Hey, I've got this sermon series idea called A Church for Everyone, where we let people know that the church is for them and it's a place where they can belong and be a part of. But I can't find a bumper video that fits with exactly what I'm wanting it to fit. I've looked through every website, I've gone to YouTube, I've done everything I can do, and I have not been able to find this bumper video. Can you help me make one?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I don't know if I have time to sit down and make this. This is happening this weekend. I've got 10 other things I've got going on, but I'm gonna do the best that I can to try to figure it out." Well, I remembered I have an AI driven workflow that I like to work through. And so what I did was I had this AI, I had ChatGPT, I popped it in there, and I gave it, you can actually drag and drop items into ChatGPT. And so I drug the pastor's outlines for the next 6 weeks into ChatGPT. And I said, "Hey, I need a 30-second to 45-second bumper video for this sermon series that's getting ready to come up. Can you help me create a copy and a script for this sermon series?" It gave me the script. I dropped it into 11 Labs. It gave me the narration. I went and found free footage. All the footage you're going to see on this is absolutely free. Found it on Pexels, pexels.com. And I was done in 15 minutes. This is the result of 15 minutes of using AI and free software.
What if church wasn't just a place you go, but a place where you're truly seen? What if the church wasn't defined by walls or rules, but by welcome, by grace, by love? We believe the church isn't whole without you, not because you're perfect, but because you're part of the story. You belong, fully seen, fully known, and fully invited. This is a church for everyone.
Now, if I didn't tell you that that voice was AI, you would have believed 100% that that was a real voice. I mean, and if you told me that you thought it was AI, I would 100% call you on your bluff on that one because that sounded so real to me. So here's what the cost of a video like that would have looked like before AI. A voice actor could cost you $150 to $300 just to do that segment. A script writer, if you don't have one on staff, or a communications person in general, could cost you $100 to $200. A video editor, at minimum, would cost you $300 to put this video together. So we're looking at anywhere between $550 to $800 plus to get this 30-second bumper video. And guess what? When the sermon series is over, it's gone. You just spent all that money on a quick bumper video. And I know people that are still doing this right now. They're spending that much money to put this content together. That's more than some people in your church tithe in a month. Just keep that in mind. That's honestly, in my opinion, not being a good steward of the money that God has entrusted us with as leaders in the church. So what's it cost to do it with AI? Well, let's pull this up real quick. 11 Labs, the app that I use to create the AI voiceover, $5 a month. That's it. $5 a month. And here's the thing, if you just need one bumper video, you pay for the subscription, you pay $5, you make the audio, you cancel the subscription, so you're not paying every single month. ChatGPT can be free. I pay for it. I pay the $20 a month so that way I can get more prompts and be able to use it just because I'm using it for everything at this point. But you could create that script for free. And then Canva is also free. I pay for the $15 a month subscription just because it allows me to get access to more things. And once again, I'm using it a lot. But Canva is absolutely free. You can use all the tools. There's extra things that you can't get access to in a free account, but you could do this for free. So at minimum, let's say you did have somebody that could voice act in your church and you didn't have to pay 11 Labs. That video is absolutely free. We're talking between $550 to make one 30-second video to $800 or free. And at max, I paid $40 for this video just because I have these tools and I'm using them. This is a huge step, and this is just one thing. We're not talking about this just being for bumper videos. What if you need to make a video advertising for your church or trying to promote a ministry that you're doing in your community? You can do this all through AI. So what else? Graphics creation. This one is a huge one. This one's actually one I've been playing with for the past couple weeks at this point. And it's actually sped up my workflow like crazy. So the graphics struggle. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's that every event in your church needs some kind of graphic. But here's one thing that I'm going to tell you, and you don't have to take it. You don't have to tell other people this in your church, but you can keep this in the back of your mind that not all graphics need the same investment. And what I'm getting ready to show you is not AI yet, but is to help set up the AI feature I'm getting ready to show you. So this is just a free piece of information from a graphic designer and somebody that does communications in a church full time. I've created a pyramid, and in that pyramid, it is split up into 3 sections. I call it outside graphics or outside communications. I call it inside graphics or communications. And don't ever tell anybody in your church that you call it this. But we got low tier. graphics and low tier communications. Let me break them down for you real quick so that way you can get an idea of where my brain's going. Outside communications. This is things that would consist of sermon series graphics. What does your sermon series graphics look like? Your outdoor signage, you're putting banners up, you're putting things up for events. Christmas graphics, Easter. I'm going to spend 5 to 10 hours on these graphics because I know that this is the one thing. These are the things that are going to go out to the community and everybody's going to see. Inside communications or graphics. We're talking midweek activities. We're talking like something like Bible presentations you do on Sunday morning. This isn't a graphic you're going to throw out into the community. You want your church to know about the fact that you're doing Bible presentations, but it's not something going on a sign. Maybe, I don't know how many of you guys do Scout Sunday at your church. We do. Scout Sunday is definitely an inside communication. I'm not going to spend more than an hour or two on one of these graphics. It's got to look good. It's got to be excellent. That's one of our core values. But at the same time, I'm not going to spend 5 or 10 hours on a graphic like this because the further down this tier list you go, the reason it gets bigger the further down you go is because of the volume of the amount of requests that you get as you go down this pyramid. And so your outside graphics, there's not as many of them, so you can spend more time on it. By the time you get to low tier, you're getting requests from everybody, every single small group in your church, every little pool party that's happening with your youth group, all your small group classes. I always say that these events, if it's under, 20 people in attendance, it's going to go in the low tier. And I'm not going to spend more than 10 or 15 minutes on it. They're just being honest. And people in the church know that because if you spend an hour or two on every graphic under low tier, you will never get anything else done except doing graphics. And so I want to show you guys what my workflow is to take care of low tier graphics by making an inside graphic. I know I said I wouldn't do Bible presentations as a low tier graphic, but for this example, we're going to use it today. So the graphic on your left was generated through ChatGPT. It's okay. It turned out fine. I said I needed a Bible presentation. Some problems I have with it, and are problems that you guys have probably seen with your graphic designs as well, is I don't know what this logo is. It's not my logo. It doesn't go to our church. This pumpkin somehow is inside the book and outside the book at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. So what I do is I let ChatGPT do all the thinking part for me. The part where if you sit around and use your brain to create all these low tier graphics, you're not going to have the energy to create the good stuff that's going to go out to the public. So I let it create the layout. I let it pick the colors and what the content is. And then I just copy it, move it over to Canva, and then I build it out in Canva myself. The benefit to this is, one, I get to change the text. You can't change the text in a ChatGPT image, but you can change the text if it's a Canva image. And plus, I can make it look a little bit more like what we're going to use. I can change a coffee mug out with a coffee cup. I could put a QR code on it, put register now. I couldn't even move the text on the ChatGPT. And you can see Bible presentation is not centered. That's driving me nuts. And so move this over into Canva. I was able to build it out. I didn't spend more than 10 or 15 minutes on this graphic, maybe even less, really. This is important for all of us to understand that we want to use our energies, our brain power, our creative abilities on the things that are going to bring the most return on investment. And I know that's a business term that sounds really corporate, but a pool party for 15 youth at your church is not going to be something that you advertise out to the community. I hope you don't, because some creeps would show up. But if you're advertising for Christmas, obviously you want something that's going to be eye-catching and to be the most creative thing that you put together. So save your time with AI on the small things so you can move on to the big creative things that are going to draw more people into your church. So let's recap number 2. AI is not the finished product. And I'm going to say that about most things AI. It's not the finished product. There's still a human element to it of the final approval. But an AI can be an idea starter that saves brain power and time. Okay, last one. We're gonna talk AI agents, or like I said earlier, AI employees. This is something I've really dug into over the past month, and I'm learning how to create these agents that will help you, help me, um, buy back a lot of our time. These are people, our agents. I've started calling them people. That's kind of creepy. These are agents and employees that can do work for you 24 hours a day while you're sleeping, while you're hanging out with your spouse in the morning, getting ready for work. They're doing the work for you. What is an AI agent? It's a custom GPT trained on your church's content. Hunter actually hit on this earlier when he was talking about the sermon script writing. It's stuff that is designated and designed in ChatGPT at the very small level in GPT. It can go even scale more, but we're talking about intro level things here. It's trained on you. It's trained on your church and understanding how it works. It saves your info, brand guidelines. It can save your beliefs, the events that you have, the voice of your church. It will be able to talk just like you guys. Here's some example use cases. It can draft social media posts in your church's voice, generate internal graphic ideas, pull sermon notes, frequently ask questions or ministry copy. You can pull all that instantly. And I'm going to show you guys this here in a real quick second after we get through some of these slides. But it's all based off of what's called project folders. And you probably didn't know this. If you use ChatGPT on a daily basis, I used it for years and had no idea that there was project folders. Project folders are a place. Let me actually pull up ChatGPT here for you guys, and I'll show it to you. I've got to share my screen with you. Here we go. All right. ChatGPT. Over here on the left-hand side of the screen, you've got all the things that you normally do. If you want to have a new conversation, you would go in here, type up something, and it would go into your ChatGPT. They would answer it, and that'd be done. You have these little buttons over here. You probably don't have some of these because these are all my custom, what are called GPTs. They're trained on your content. So what does that mean? Let me pull up Kai real quick. Kai is an AI agent or an AI employee that I designed for Dalton First. They understand our brand guidelines, and I'm going to put it to the test, and we'll see how well it works here. A graphic or Bible presentations this Sunday. Oops, not created. But this Sunday, you are, well, it already has that information here. It needs to be fall themed and have, let's see, pumpkin. I don't even know how to spell pumpkin, y'all. Look at me. Pumpkin spice latte. Oh my gosh, lattes in the image. Because who doesn't like a good pumpkin spice latte during this time of the year? I've already had 2 of them. September hasn't even been here that long. Let's see what it comes up with. In the meantime, while it's generating, agents, like I said, I have this one set up to where our staff can actually send an email to this GPT directly, and the email can say exactly the graphic that they want. It goes into a database and starts creating this graphic on its own, and then sends an email back to the staff member and says, "Hey, it's Kai. So glad to be letting you know that your graphic's done. Here's what it looks like. Let me know what you think." And so that sounds like craziness that it's doing that through a work email. I can show you guys how to do that in another webinar. I'm really showing you the agents portion to gain your interest, gauge your interest, and show you what AI can do. A lot of people are just doing it to take care of the small, mundane tasks, which is great. You need to start somewhere, but you can also scale this thing. I think most people are only using 5 or 10% of ChatGPT. They say that humans only use about 5 or 10% of our brains. I think we're doing the same thing. We're kind of projecting our own maybe insecurities onto ChatGPT. Maybe. I don't know. Um, but if that's something you guys would be interested in the future, I would love to put together another webinar where we kind of break down the details of what it takes to build an AI agent because I mean, the possibilities are so endless. And as we can see here, this graphic is coming out pretty decent already. It looks like the words are centered. Wow. You know what? This might be one of the better ones. I was not expecting it to come out that good. So, this actually came out great. Most places, I know some churches who would probably use this as a graphic on their social media content. So, imagine you ask ChatGPT to create. Let's actually do it. Can you create now a caption for this image for Facebook? And it's generating, boom, now you got your caption. And it knows our service times because it's built into it. It knows our church, and I even have some hashtags that it knows how to use every single time. Our pastor is so adamant on grow, grow, grow. That is our thing this fall. We are going to grow, grow, grow. And so I put that into the agent. Every social media post Kai puts in there, grow, grow, grow. So um, that is, as far as AI agents go, the big thing that I want you guys to see as far as AI agents are. Um, Let me pull my screen back up here to where I can see what we're doing. The impact is you go from having generic AI, which Hunter actually talked about earlier, whenever you just go into ChatGPT and you just make things. You go from generic to having something that's church personalized for you guys. So I got a call to action for you guys to take with today. AI can seem like a huge leap and it can be very overwhelming. Hunter and I have talked about 6 or 7 things today that you're probably looking at it and going, whoa, that would save me so much time, but I have no idea where to start. Here's the thing. We both only started using AI with one thing. You literally just have to pick something and try it out and figure out how it works in your workflow. And then when you get it working and it's taking time or giving you back time to be with people, move on to the next thing. I always say try to find a problem. If you had one thing that you could get rid of that you have to do every single week and let AI take it, that's the thing you need to figure out how to fix. So, I want you guys to try one AI workflow this week. Find the problem, find out how it can solve it for you. You'll be able to build confidence with AI through this one thing. And through that confidence, you will then be able to expand and move on to other things. And listen, I've been saying this for the past couple months. AI doesn't replace ministry. It replaces the monotony. And if you can replace the monotony, you can get back to being with people. So I would love to be able to sit down with you guys in the future and talk through these things one-on-one. If there are very specific things that you need help with, I'm here. You guys have already got my information. This has been advertised all over Facebook, so you're probably got my Facebook contact information already. You can send me a private message and we can try to work through some workflows. But I want to open up the table for you guys to be able to ask any questions of anything that you saw during these presentations or anything that maybe we didn't cover and let us try to figure out a way to talk through it. Maybe we have a solution, or if we don't have a solution, maybe we can explore it together and try to find that. And I also want to remind you guys, I do have our free resource for y'all. I'm posting a link right now in the chat section. All you have to do is follow that link. It is a free PDF to help you guys get started with AI inside of ChatGPT. So all you got to do is follow that link. You can use it. Absolutely free resource. With that being said, would love to open up the floor. If anybody's got any questions, it's all yours. Well, I'm seeing some shaking heads. Hunter, is there in the meantime, is there anything that you would like to hit on? Just seeing what I just talked about, or is there anything else we didn't talk about today that might be helpful for our guests that are watching?
I think the biggest thing for me is just, I mean, you hit it on it well. You were talking about finding things that are time wasters and seeing how you can eliminate them. It's kind of like having a little bit of curiosity just to try things and see what you can do. Um, I think is the biggest thing for me. I think what I've found as I've looked and tried to figure what I can eliminate, it's just throw things at a wall. I mean, just see. Like, I mean, trying to figure out with your email, how can you cull through some of your email, like whatever it may be. There's probably a resource out there or something that you can find to help accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's huge. All right. Well, thank you guys for your time. Like I said, I wanted to save your time as much as possible. I really appreciate everybody that's jumped in on this call live, but then also if you're watching this as a recapture on YouTube, on Facebook, thank you as well for jumping in and checking out this content. We got a lot going on. We're going to be having more webinars like this going on in the future. So make sure you are actually part of our free Facebook group. Let me actually go ahead and pull that up for you guys, and I'll drop that Facebook group into the chat as well. You guys can follow that link, and it'll take you to that free Facebook group that would allow you to go in here and get part of the group. So as we have more um, webinars that come up, more specialized trainings, more in-depth trainings, you guys can hear about them directly on that Facebook group. I actually saw over here in the chat, Jamie said she didn't have a question, but looking forward to learning more about GPT agents. Yeah, they're huge. I mean, they have saved my time like crazy. And in the future, would love to possibly do a whole webinar just on agents and how agents can help us dig into solving our time so we can get back to, just want to bring this right back around, being with people. We got into ministry to be with people. We didn't get into ministry to fill out paperwork, to do the monotony. We got into ministry because we felt like we were called to minister to people. And I want to save you guys time, as much time as possible, by providing you guys free resources to where you can get back to being with people. Looks like Deborah said she agrees with Jamie. Is it too new right now for questions? Maybe after the exercise that you gave for workflow improvements. Yeah, this is definitely something we can. I can throw another link in the next couple days into that Facebook group. Let you guys know that there's another webinar coming up, and that's a place where we can maybe recap some of the things that you guys have learned and played around with, and maybe let you guys share your screen and show us how you guys have played around with things, or we can share our screens again. Jamie said another graphic tool that is AI is Ideogram. I actually have not used that one yet. I'm gonna have to jump into that and check it out because the AI has just, the tools. You guys probably seen graphics from months ago. They look terrible. Within just months, things have gotten better. Also, a big one right now, Google came out with under Google Gemini, is their new image processing AI. My mind was blown 3 nights ago. It's called the model. It's goofy sounding. It's called Nano, Nano, banana, and it sounds goofy, but man, the stuff that it can do gave me chills. Like it was insane. So check out Nano Banana. It is a Google Gemini image generator. It is insane. Jamie said Ideogram recently added a tool called Character so that you can have reoccurring characters from graphic to graphic, much like Nano Banana. Yep, that's huge. That's a big thing. I've been working with our family ministries director right now at trying to come up with. She's a little hesitant on AI right now, but this is part of what we're doing here is trying to make it more familiar with people. We don't have a full-time illustrator on staff. Most churches don't have a full-time illustrator on staff, but a lot of our family ministries directors come up with their own content for their children's ministry. How cool would it be to be able to utilize AI with something like Nano Banana or with Ideogram, apparently, and let it generate original characters that can come up and be used in your children's ministry? I think of things like VeggieTales. Who remembers Adventures in Odyssey? all these fun shows that at least things that I grew up with. I might be aging myself now. There might be some people going, "What in the world is Adventures in Odyssey?" But these were shows and cartoons that I watched growing up, and there were characters that helped formulate my faith and help point me to Jesus. This could be the same thing. We could create these original characters inside of our family ministries through things like Nano Banana or Ideogram, and then have these characters help share the story of Jesus to our kids in our family ministries through things that we can create over and over again. Jamie also said that Adobe Illustrator has an image trace feature. Then they are working at making a 3D model where you can rotate the illustration. That is crazy. I knew about the image trace feature, but I did not know about the 3D model. That is crazy. Thank you, Jamie, Jamie is just sharing some stuff today. Thank you so much. I might have to have you on here as a presenter in the next webinar. That'd be crazy. Cool. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I'm going to get you guys out of here, get back to doing ministry, get back to being with people. If there's anything else that I can do for you guys, hit me up. I would love to sit down and talk with y'all. Get that free resource, get into the free Facebook page. Let's start having conversations and sharing what we're doing. Thank you guys for your time, and I will see you guys next time.